Hi, welcome back to the Results Cricket Academy channel. This video is the first video of the 2021 series of videos that we'll be putting up, which is for education for parents and senior players, as well as coaches who are working with their own players. In this video, we're going to be looking at why some junior as well as senior players miss the ball outside off, especially when the ball is short pitched, it's a bad delivery and they miss out on scoring runs. So there are some common mistakes that the players make, which is what we're going to have a look at now. So the first issue we will look at is where a batsman opens up when they are playing the ball that's outside off. So this is what it looks like. Perhaps they step forward, they hit the shot, and then they opening up to the bowler. So the result of this is where the ball goes straight back to the bowler or to mid-off or mid-on and could even be a catch-out. So again, this is what it looks like. Batsman steps forward, tries to hit, and then opens up to the bowler, and the result is the ball goes straight as opposed to square where the ball should be going. The second issue that a lot of the players do is they go back, but instead of opening the face of the bat, they present the side of the bat to the ball, and in this case, the ball could hit the edge and go up, or they are hitting the ball up as opposed to hitting down. And the third issue is where the player takes a very big back foot step back as well as across, so it looks something like this. In this position, they are a bit imbalanced, they are a bit low, and they are not able to get on top of the ball to then hit the ball onto the ground. So most likely they're going to hit it again in the same way. They're going to hit it up, presenting the side of the bat. So if we have a look at the three issues again, number one is where the batsman opens up and hits straight as opposed to hitting square. Number two is where the batsman hits with the side on bat, where they hit with the side of the bat and not open the face of the bat. And the third one is when the batsman takes a very big step and tries to hit, but is in a very unbalanced position and is very low, as opposed to being tall and able to hit the ball on the ground. So a good result for the cut shot would be if the batsman steps back and across, stays side on, and gets the bat up, brings it down and hits the ball into the ground as well as square and not straight. And the player should wait for the ball and play it very late as opposed to playing it very early. And finally, one very important thing for the player is to make sure that they open the full face of the bat to the delivery as opposed to being side on where they could get an edge. The player wants to open the full face, play it very late so that they are hitting it and the ball is again going square of the wicket. So the first thing to help the player with is to make sure that the player is waiting for the ball and is staying in a side on position. So a very simple drill for this is for the coach or the parent to throw the ball and the player catches it late and behind them. So we'll demonstrate this one. Yeah. So a very simple underarm feed, and player goes back and catches it side on and behind them. So a mistake would be if the player catches it in front, but the player should catch it behind them. Player moves back and takes the catch behind them and stays in a side on position and not in an open position. Another thing I'm doing here is I'm moving my back foot across and back to make sure that it covers the off stump. So we'll have a look at that again. Back, across, and taking the catch again behind me and not in front, and staying in a side on position. So once you finish the first exercise where the player is just catching the ball, this time the player can hold a stump in their right hand, and now they are learning how to hit the ball in an up to down motion. So this is what it looks like. We are still moving back and hitting in an up to down motion. So we still don't have the bat in our hand, it's just a stump. We are still keeping it very simple and making sure the player gets that action of hitting up to down. So before the player moves on to hitting the cut shot with the bat, practice the first and the second drill for 10 minutes each and then move on to the bat. And with the bat, you're practicing the three things: staying side on, playing it late, and hitting the ball from up to down. The parent or the coach's feet can be a very similar underarm feeds, nice and slow, and then the pace can increase as the player gets more and more comfortable. So let's do a quick demonstration. Player goes back and hits it down. So this is a really good introduction to learning a cut shot and to play the balls that are outside the off stump, where plenty of runs can be scored. If the batsman is still struggling with the cut shot, try the first or second step again. The third step with the bat can be done for as long as required. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or concerns, put it in the comments down below, and I hope you enjoy.